So welcome to my talk, which is about revisiting XSS sanitization. You can also call it systematically breaking online WYSIWYG editors. So this research already had been published in the form of research paper, and the title of our paper is Systematically Breaking Online WYSIWYG Editors. It will be available in a month's time, but as far as the slides and the white paper are concerned, I already tweeted about that, so they are online. So right now I am using the online version. So these are not the sponsors of my talk. So I accessed all these WYSIWYG editors. So Frola, WebWiz, Jive, CK Editor, Kind, JHTML Area, Aloha. So in total they are 25, but their footprint is on thousands of websites. So what is WYSIWYG editor? We're gonna see. But so I accessed in this talk, you will see after that. So they all are accessible. So who I am a researcher in Ruhr University Bochum. I am a student, PhD student, who is trying to complete his PhD in cross-site scripting. And my name has been listed in all Hall of Fames. It includes 11 time in Google Security Hall of Fame. So previously I had a chance to speak at Hack in the Box, and I love tweeting. So this is my Twitter handle. Feel free to retweet the slides and white paper. They are online already. So wish me good luck, because I already started writing PhD thesis. So WYSIWYG, what you see is what you get. Or rich text editors. They are nowadays very common in modern web applications. Modern web applications support WYSIWYG editors. What are rich text editors? They allow users of web application to enter rich text. And what is rich text or formatted text? You can make a text bold, you can make a text italic, you can paste an image in your post or a link in your message. So these are the WYSIWYG editors, and they are getting very popularity. That's why there are so many. So normally sites use WYSIWYG editor as a part of these things. Forum post. Most sites have a forum where you can post something, you can post your question, you can answer, or private messaging. If you're a logged in user, then you can send a private message to the other logged in users. So at that time, sites use WYSIWYG editors. Wiki post, support tickets, comments, signature creation. Actually, this signature has nothing to do with the crypto signature. This is a signature that normally you use who you are, basically. So this is the WYSIWYG editor of Magento Commerce. Magento Commerce is a very popular e-commerce platform. It's an eBay company, basically. You can see if this was available on their forum, on their message, everywhere. I come to this later. But if you want to post something, you can make the text bold with the help of this B button, with the help of I, underline, quote, code. You can email. So many options. You can do some styling also, like size and color. So, but it is not necessary that WYSIWYG editors are only available in the form of buttons. They may be available in the form of some particular text or from particular format. For example, this is the WYSIWYG editor of Twitter translation. If you want to post a link on this Twitter translation forum, you have to write the name of the link in square brackets, and then in small parentheses, you can mention a link, and Twitter will automatically convert into a link, HTML based. So this is the WYSIWYG editor that is right now in use on Amazon, on their Seller Central forum, and on their Kindle Direct Publishing forum. For example, on these two forums, if you want to post an image, you have to mention the image URL in 2 marks of exclamation. Then their WYSIWYG editor will consider, okay, if there are 2 marks of exclamation, this is an image URL. So this is the WYSIWYG editor of Yahoo email. So these are the top sites WYSIWYG editors. So there are third-party WYSIWYG editors also. For example, Frola. This is a WYSIWYG editor based on jQuery. So see so many options. You can even embed a video, you can image, link. How popular that WYSIWYG editor is So last time when I filed the bug at Frola, at that time developer told me that initially we have 5,000 downloads, but last week I was discussing this with the developer, and he told me that right now there are 40,000 downloads of this Wysiwyg editor. So imagine out of 40,000, for example, we take a less number. Imagine half of the sites are using this Wysiwyg editor, and if you XSS this Wysiwyg editor, suddenly the XSS impact will be on all the sites that are using this third-party Wysiwyg editor. So this is the Wysiwyg editor by Jive, a very popular Wysiwyg editor. According to their statistics, you can find the whole list of sites on this URL. They claim that they have millions of users. I don't know. So this is the Wysiwyg editor, TinyMC, so many options, bold, italic, underline, justify. So let's see what we can do with these Wysiwyg editors. According to TinyMC, they claim that their Wysiwyg editor is in use in Microsoft, Oracle, Jive is also using somewhere their Wysiwyg editor, Facebook, and on this URL you can find a huge list. So this is a CK Wysiwyg editor, another popular Wysiwyg editor. So their developers had written on their website that during the development of CK editor, we had consumed 88,455 cups of coffee. So during the development of Wysiwyg editor, so they had consumed that amount of coffee. Yeah, another Wysiwyg editor. This editor has been developed by a single person named, I think it sounds like a Chinese. But the popularity, I am more focused on the popularity. So right now, this Wysiwyg editor is in CNET. CNET, last time I checked, it is Alexa 110 website. Out of all the sites in the world, the ranking is 110. It's so popular. CNET forum is, normally we used to ask general questions. So this Wysiwyg editor is in use on that CNET forums. Cross-site scripting, I believe most of the audience is technical, so they know about cross-site scripting. I will not get into the detail. So just take away. So this is a takeaway about cross-site scripting. It is everywhere. It is not going anywhere. It was there, it is there, and it will be there. Right now when I am talking to you, Alexa, 50 out of 100 top sites are vulnerable to cross-site scripting. Right now, when we are talking, if someone wants to see alert one on 50 top sites, he can ping me after the talk. I can show all the alerts. So cross-site scripting is basically an epidemic. So despite we have 15 years of mitigation efforts, it was first discovered 15 years ago. So far it is there. And unfortunately, at the moment, 50 out of top 100 sites are vulnerable. So we cannot mitigate so far cross-site scripting. So for details, I would recommend you to look at my slides that are already public. The first one is basically cross-site scripting my love, where is secure code. In that slide last year here at RAI Center, I was here at RSA Europe. During the OAP seminar, I presented this slide. So, and in this slide, you will see all top sites that I was able to access. And the second one is on breaking PHP. The last few months ago, I presented this at OAPS Spain. So all PHP-based XSS sanitization routines are broken. I broke all of them. So you can see all the information. So they are online. So let's start with the tale of $1,000 bounty that I was awarded by Magento Commerce, and I broke their Wysiwyg editor. Few months ago, Magento had officially launched a bug bounty program. And according to their program, the maximum payout for cross-site scripting in their tier 1 application is $1,000. So they awarded me $1,000. It's not only $1,000, but right now, the effect. The Wysiwyg editor on their forum has been disabled. I am the reason for this. So it has been disabled, and since last 3 months, it is disabled. So far they don't found a solution, because they contacted me after fixing some issue that Asher, please look at our code, and I broke the code again. So far they don't find any third-party solution. You can check on this URL. And And the effect, this is not a forum for the sake of forum. Look at the number of users this forum has. This is so popular forum. And here is some statistics. The most visitors ever was 10,287 only in June 12. It means that so many people are using this forum. And right now, the posting is disabled just because of Wysiwyg editor. So imagine the number of affected users on this Wysiwyg editor. So this was the Wysiwyg editor I showed on the early slides. So it is everywhere. It was everywhere. When it was there, it was everywhere. It was on the forum posting. It was on when you want to send a private message. So this is the text area. You can write anything. And if you want to make your text bold, you will simply click on that button, italic. So this is how, let's start dissecting it. How it works. On the left-hand side, this is the syntax of Wysiwyg editor. If you want to make a text bold with a particular size and with a particular color, and if you will start clicking on different buttons, the syntax looks like that. B, size is basically for font size, color is blue, we want to make the text bold, here size. So there is a particular syntax, and the effect appears like that. It's bold, italic. But internally, because these are the HTML-based rich text editors, if you look at the source code, you will see this line. Bold tag, there is a span tag has been created with the style, font size 16, with style color blue. So actually in HTML, we are getting this. But Wysiwyg editor, for the user to have a better experience, you can simply click it because users are not aware of HTML. But actually, if you look at the source code, you are getting this line. Just a quick test. Just a crazy XSS vector. I throw at it, just in the text area, and I receive this output. It does not work because they are properly encoding everything. But one thing I noticed, so see here in the vector there is document.cookie. They have converted this document.cookie into the word removed. This removed, by looking at removed, I thought something that they are using this one. So they are using CodeIgniter CI security class because it's the CodeIgniter is one of the most popular PHP framework. It's their functionality. If they found document.cookie word in the attack vector, they convert this word into removed. So I realized that they are using CodeIgniter also. They have a protection also for the CodeIgniter. Okay, what is CodeIgniter? What's most popular framework? Second most watched PHP project, and the highest number of folks on any PHP project on GitHub. This is that popular, CodeIgniter. According to these sites, this number of websites are using CodeIgniter. I had some time to look at CodeIgniter. On this URL, you can find 5 unique bypasses of CodeIgniter. They all have been fixed. But if someone wants to learn, you can see. Okay, let's come back to the Wysiwyg editor. Okay, so this is how, let's start breaking it. So this is how I make the text bold. Okay, and you know from the previous slide that this B in that particular form has been converted into a bold tag. Okay, I thought let's try on mouse over. This is a very basic thing. Let's try on mouse over. Maybe it will work. Okay, I converted the vector here, B/on mouse over, and everything is same here with the space. And I wanted to see what is the behavior of their Wysiwyg editor. As a result, you can see there is no bold tag has been created. It means that this will not work. Nothing happens. So this thing gone. I cannot access this with that thing. Okay. If you remember, you can post a URL with that particular syntax. URL, this is a legitimate URL. It will convert into a URL with ahref. Okay, I converted this URL, which is supposed, a normal user is supposed to enter an HTTP URL, but I am not a normal user. So I entered a JavaScript URI, and I entered a data URI based JavaScript execution. But see, what is the behavior? They have removed the word JavaScript because CodeIgniter was there. It is creating hurdles. It is stopping me. And at the same time, they have appended HTTP colon. It means this is not gonna work. If you will force the URL to start with an HTTP, it will not work. You cannot execute JavaScript. In a similar manner, they have appended HTTP here in data URI. It means that this also does not work. Okay. Third step. One can set a style, with this color blue. Okay, why color blue? Why not use IE-based dynamic expression, IE-based JavaScript dynamic expression with the help of width expression alert one? See, nothing has been changed except the blue has been converted. I changed blue into width expression alert one. Again, see the problem. Expression got removed because CodeIgniter is there. CodeIgniter at every step is causing problem. But I had bypasses, I know. So here you see another problem. In order to bypass CodeIgniter, because they are removing the word expression with the help of removed, there is a very old trick that has been discussed on this hackers forum called Slackers. If you use a multi-line comment inside the word expression, this is the multi-line comment basically. Here you see, multi-line comment inside a word expression, i.e. old browser simply ignores it. And at the same time, you can bypass the CodeIgniter because they are only looking at the word expression. This is not an expression. This is EXPRE with multi-line comments. So it means that with this technique, and if you look at the resulting code, see, now there is no removed. It means what I am sending, I am getting back, and in I simply will ignore it. But the problem, this width expression can only work if it is a value of a style. But the problem, I discussed the problem on the next slide. Here, the problem is that CSS will only work if we have a property name and a value. But here you see, there is a style tag. This is a property name. CSS parser will assume this is a property. Color, it's simply width expression. It will not work. The problem is the color. I want to get rid of this property in order to make the CSS work, because I want to assign the value width expression to a style so that it will work. The problem or the question I had, how to get rid of color. Next idea I came to my mind, I want to break this specific editor. Okay, let's use a style tag. Previously I was using style attribute. Let's use style tag with the allowed format. Now see, with style, if I change this size and color, simply remove it and I use the style and use width expression, internally it becomes this one. Span, class, width expression, it seems that it will work, but the problem, if I use style, then dynamically they generate an attribute called class. Okay, the value looks fine, it should work, but if we need style here we have a class. So the next problem, how to get rid of this class? Okay, but I am getting the value what I want, but the problem, how to get rid of this? So I thought, okay, let's use style one more time. Here style is equal to style and then expression. Okay, wow. Then I realized there is a style there and there is a value, but now another problem. Class is equal to the whole value. Now the only thing left, if I will jump out from this class, I have a very good assignment. I can execute JavaScript, okay? Simply, in order to break an attribute context, use double quotes. Now I use double quote, okay? See, style is equal to double quote style. What happens internally? Here you see, class attribute has been closed with an empty value, and now style has a value that I want. So on the next page, we have an XSS in old IE browsers. It works. But then the next question I asked myself, who cares about IE7? Okay, let's try to make it work in a modern browser. Here is the final vector in the red line. B style double quotes on mouse over using this technique, because I know how they are working. With this flow, I was able to alert cookie. It's a very big cookie. So now so look at the size of the cookie. So I access this in modern Chrome browser. And another sad thing, the PHP session ID is not HTTP only. So, wow. So what, as an attacker, I can do? Another thing I found on their forum, if you are a forum moderator, there is a particular badge. They assigned you a particular badge. Hey, this guy is a forum moderator. I realize if someone is a forum moderator, it means he has more privileges as compared to me. And imagine PHP session ID cookie is not session only. I can simply send a message. I can simply exfiltrate the cookie and log in on behalf of an administrator. This is as simple. I would recommend you, I read a short write-up. So write-up is available here. So everything is online. You can read the write-up from that. So this is the short story of $1,000 bug, but now let's identify some common injection point, because I was using different tricks at a single place, but there is something common you can use and anyone can use. So these are the common injection points Wysiwyg editors has. In my experience or in my research, I found almost all Wysiwyg editors allow you to insert an image, allow you to insert a URL, allows to set some attributes like ID, like class. They also allow you to upload a file or upload a video. These are the common injection points that I as an attacker can use. Now I will present for each injection point, there is a particular methodology that you can follow and access any Wysiwyg editor. So let's start with the first one. How to attack insert image feature. This is attack vector 1. So I asked from you, what is special in this URL? Just look at the URL and try to identify if you found anything interesting in this URL. Anyone would like to tell anything interesting in this URL you found? XSS Playground is actually, I have no money, so it's a free domain. So I call it XSS Playground. So, but the interesting thing, by looking at this URL, you found this URL has that much characteristics. First one, it's a valid URL. All browser will render it. It's an image. All browser will render it. It's a valid URL. Second, in case of explicit decoding on the server side, this URL will help you in breaking the context and will help you in executing JavaScript. Third case, if imagine there is no explicit decoding, even then this URL will help. I will show you. I will give you, for each case, I will show you an XSS. And this is not a URL for the sake of URL. This URL has a lot of stuff inside it. And the last one, SVG-based JavaScript execution, because if you look at the URL, it's basically an image file.svg. It's an SVG file, and after question mark, you know it's query parameter. There has nothing. Browsers simply don't look at it, so you can simply execute whatever you want. Now let's start. Okay, first one is explicit decoding case. For example, if you throw this URL to some web application, and developers are like me because I am not a developer, they are doing some explicit decoding. What happened? If you will decode this %22, it will be converted into double quotes. And this %22 will be converted into double quotes. And then after decoding, the application sends back the URL to the browser. And in the browser, this will be a part of image source attribute. Image source has a double quotes around. It means that this first double quote after this XSS will simply break the source attribute and JavaScript can be executed. Now I'll show you an example. Alexa. They have a Wysiwyg editor sort where you can create your own toolbar. So I don't know you can see that or not, but if you will look closely on this screenshot, it stops at XSS, then double quotes break everything because their developers are doing explicit decoding. This issue has been fixed. I reported this to them. And here you see alert one on mouse over, that works. This is a URL you can use to attack insert image feature. Use this URL. No need to use a genuine URL for an image. This is also a genuine URL, but this will help you in executing an XSS. Okay, there is a short write-up, you can read this. Okay, I use the same URL in order to access GitHub Markdown, where I was able to execute SVG-based XSS, and this 500 point means $500 US. This is not a point. So they awarded me $500 US because with the it's an SVG image, so their application executes the JavaScript that is inside SVG. So I would recommend you this talk by Mario. It's a very awesome talk. So you can find it on this link. The same URL, the one attack vector, I also accessed Amazon Seller Central and Amazon Kindle publishing form. Right now, XSS is live, but they have fixed in a sense that previously it was a stored XSS, but now it appears only in preview. Now it's a self-XSS, but previously it was a stored XSS, but it is still live. If you remember from the early slides, in Amazon, if in the Wysiwyg editor, if you want to place an image in your message, you have to place the image URL in between the marks of exclamation, just like that. Start marks of exclamation, then image URL, and then close marks of exclamation. Internally, they will be treated like that. Image source, URL goes here. Okay. This is live. You can check, use this URL on Amazon. So see, because in that case, their developers are not doing any explicit decoding. See, %22 is there. But in that case, after question mark, in the URL, I had double quotes. So that double quotes is a hard-coded double quotes, and they forgot to encode it. That's why it breaks and JavaScript gets executed. So this is an XSS on Amazon Kindle Wysiwyg editor. Second, if sites allow you, or Wysiwyg editor allow you to insert an image, then the second attack vector you can use is this one. This is basically data URI based JavaScript execution in combination with SVG and XML. But this is only useful if site will dynamically append or add anchor tag, a tag around image tag. And it appears often. For example, if you go to Twitter and you upload your image, then Twitter dynamically generate an anchor tag and place the anchor tag around your image tag. So it makes the image in the form of URL. And this happens, I think 6 out of 10 cases, sites dynamically add anchor tag, and they borrow the same URL that you use for the image, and they take it as such for the ahref. So I XSS Jive because they are trying to have an anchor tag around image source. So I XSS their Wysiwyg editor. Another potential attack vector, but this has been now fixed in modern Firefox. This you can use to DOS Firefox if you will use this vector, but this has been fixed now. Let how to attack attributes, because Wysiwyg editor also allow you to set these attributes. If you want to have a particular image, for example, somehow image gone, then you can also set a value of an alternative text for the image if image is not available on that particular URL. So these are the attributes that you can set in any Wysiwyg editor. How to attack it? It's a 3-step process. Just hang this chart on your wall. It will access anything. In case of attribute context, only I am talking only about attribute context. On my wall, I had 10 different charts like that. So the first one, look at the situation. For example, if Wysiwyg editor is allow you to set an attribute, then internally they have possible 2 forms. Either the devs are using double quotes, or either they will be using single quotes. Here, as an example, I am using class, but it can be any attribute. Okay. The first attack vector would be double quotes on mouse over, double quotes alert one, because you are not sure that devs are using single quote or double quotes. Both are legal in HTML5. So the first step is, here you see the browser logos. It works across all browsers. The second one, if they are using single quote, you will start the attack vector with single quotes. And the third one is specific to old IE browsers. It's a backtick. The IE treats this backtick as a valid separator. You can use it. This is only specific to old IE browser. It's a 3-step process. Later, I will show you how you can make a solution also by following this methodology. It's that simple. When I will present the solution, which is basically unbreakable, I will show you later. So I accessed, yeah. Yes. Yes, it use an inner HTML-based assignment. It's specific to all for exploitation, yeah. So I accesses Yahoo emails WYSIWYG editor with the help of this attack methodology. It's a 3-step process, and Yahoo fixed this issue. So backtick is everywhere. Devs forgot to encode a properly controlled backtick, and if in their code they have a particular mutation-based assignment or inner HTML, you can simply exploit it. So for example, on GitHub, this is not a GitHub, this is a utility that is created by Mario HTML5. It's a playground. So if you will see, in case of alt, this is an alt attribute, no need to use double quotes. Just inside double quotes, use backtick on error alert 1. It will work in old IE browser if there is an inner HTML-based assignment. With the help of this trick, I access GitHub, and this is the reply of GitHub. They validated my finding, but unfortunately, I was not awarded any bounty because they said that we are not supporting IE7 and IE8. It means that there is a access there, but they are not supporting this browser. So Lithium, another WYSIWYG editor. So look at the number of sites they are using. So it's a huge list. So just to capture the screenshot, so there is a huge number of sites that are using this WYSIWYG editor. So this is there. I reported this backtick-based XSS in their site, and this is their reply. I access TinyMC. I filed the bug. It has been fixed. So now let's attack insert link feature. WYSIWYG editors, I think 10 out of 10 WYSIWYG editors allow you to enter a link. And normally you will find that type of user interface where you can enter a URL. Here URL or text to display or title, and then you can select a target. It's the same window or a new window. This is the graph. Please follow this graph. You can access any WYSIWYG editor. Sorry, maybe if text is not readable, but the slides are online, everything, you can check it. But I tell you, in the first step, it's a plain JavaScript-based URI, JavaScript:alert1, and I had written here, unobfuscated JavaScript URI. And it's a cross-browser, it works everywhere. But in the second step, see, I obfuscated the word JavaScript with small and lower cases. Because if devs are using some regular expression and they forgot to have an I flag for a lower and upper case that took care, so it means that you can then break their filter using this. And at the same time, instead of using a small parenthesis, I encoded the parenthesis in URL encoded form. In the third step, it's a very good step basically, the third step, I used HTML5 encoding inside the word JavaScript. For example, devs are good. They have a protection against JavaScript and they are looking at small cases, lower cases, but they often forgot that one can use and tab and new line. Basically, these are HTML5 encoding inside the word JavaScript, and this works. One more thing you can notice, if this step will work, here I am using HTML5 encoding. It means hex encoding and decimal encoding will also work because they also start with ampersand sign. So just for the test case, I have here an HTML5 encoding. As a part of fourth step, it's a database URI, and the last one is VB script that is specific to IE browser. But now it starts counting the WYSIWYG editor. Let's start counting it. This is a free text box. I accesses this WYSIWYG editor with the help of JavaScript URI. And who is using free text box? I found Department of Defense USA, HP, Microsoft. So they are using this free text box. Kind editor, it's again with the help of URI, C JavaScript URI. It's very popular in Chinese, on China's, in Asian cities. So there is a huge list of sites available on this URL. PHP, HTML edit. One more thing you have noticed, that these WYSIWYG editors are language specific. Some are in jQuery, some are in ASP, some are in PHP. So with the help of same methodology, you can access any WYSIWYG editor. So look at the feature. Why? It's a whole Microsoft Office in the form of WYSIWYG editor. So why you are giving so many injection point to the attacker? So now look at who is using this HTML WYSIWYG editor. I found that this editor is available for ASP.NET and in ASP also. And according to their website, it's not my figure, Qt editor has more than 10,000 customers. You access a Qt editor, you made 10,000 customers vulnerable, unless they will update their WYSIWYG editor. Again, JavaScript URI, just start counting it. So these are the sites that are using this. So Mercury, another WYSIWYG editor. So more to, in the initial slide, I show you a editor called Mo Editable. It was in use in CNET form. It's vulnerable to JavaScript-based URI. I access Frola. I access Jive. I'm just following the chart. Keep in mind, just hang the chart and start applying it. So this was the reward from Jive. They had deactivated my account. So I access TinyMC. So then I tweeted, instead of having so many slides, I tweeted about that. JavaScript alert 1 is enough for nice edit, Raptor, JHTML area. Basically, in one tweet, I access 6 WYSIWYG editors. So 6 more. These are not the old ones, these are the new ones. Now, this is a very interesting story. This will show you how useful the attack methodology that I had presented to you. A tale of an XSS in Twitter translation. Twitter is one of the web application that takes security very seriously. They have a dedicated team. They are the guys who had started already implementing CSP. So let's access their WYSIWYG editor. If you remember from the early slide, if you want to have a link on Twitter forum, it should be like that. The name of the link will be in square brackets, and in small parentheses, there will be a URL, okay? So it means if you will write Twitter in small parentheses twitter.com, it will be internally converted into anchor tag with href that will hold this value, and this Twitter goes here. Makes sense. Okay. Now, remember the methodology. It starts applying it. The first step. The first step was simple JavaScript alert 1, but it does not work. Can someone identify why? Because their system, suppose if there is a closing parenthesis, okay, done, URL finished. Here you see this alert 1, this closing parenthesis. So in order to execute a function, I need a closing parenthesis, but their system assumes, okay, now URL gone. So internally it has been converted into this. Here you see the parenthesis is missing. It means the first step failed. It is not necessary that you can use the step 1, step 2. There is no numbering on the steps. You can use any order. Okay, let's convert this parenthesis into an HTML5 encoding with and lpar and rpar means right parenthesis. But see, this and has been converted into ampersand. It means that there is an encoding there. My another step failed. Okay, no problem. The third step. I encoded this parenthesis into a URL encoded form. And it seems there is nothing wrong here. So here you go. We have an XSS in Twitter translation forum, and it took me 10 minutes. When I started looking at it, it took me 10 minutes to see what they are doing, and then I started applying it. So now it has been fixed. This issue has been fixed. After fix, NDM, Neil, this guy is from Twitter security team. He replied me on Twitter, damn third-party libraries. It means that they are using some sort of third-party library as a WYSIWYG editor. Then a question arises, wow, which third-party library? It was Markdown. Okay, I go to Markdown, and I access Markdown also with the same URL. So recently an attempt has been made to make Markdown standard. So there is a short story, but there is some differences with the author of this markdown. He said, okay, it should not be markdown, it should be something else. So then they call it a common markdown. Now W3C is trying to make it a standard, a markdown of WYSIWYG editor standard. So you can read the story. Yeah, another, this is my favorite. How to attack style. Because WYSIWYG editors allow you to set a style also. For example, this is a screenshot from CK editor, where developers have consumed 88,000 cup of coffees. So, and if you want to make a link, then in the advanced tab, they allow you can style also. They are asking you, okay, you can style the link, okay? We will style it. So, just follow this graph. Actually, these are not the charts for the sake of charts. With the help of these charts, I'm going to show you in 5 minutes an unbreakable solution. And how many attempts I will also show you. So this is a 4th step process. The first one is simple width expression, alert one. The second step, where I use the multi-line comments inside the word expression to defeat the expression filter. In the third step, just for the proof of concept, I had shown an hex encoding. Decimal encoding will also work, but HTML5 encoding will not work because this is only supported in old browser. HTML5 encoding only works in modern browser. And the last one is escaping, CSS escaping. So it's a 4-step process, and it's that much complete. After applying this 4-step, you can simply say, okay, guy, there is an XSS or there is no XSS. The problem yesterday I was discussing with my colleague here. The problem with the developers or with the pen testing team is that when to stop testing. There is an injection point. How we can give a guarantee? Okay, this injection point is secure. Follow these charts. It will help you in designing an unbreakable solution. So the question arises: the style-based JavaScript execution works in old browser. Recently, I saw this tweet, a very interesting tweet by this guy. IE8 traffic on BBC News very low until workday, lunchtime, when it becomes very popular. I don't know, it means that people are still using IE8, old browsers are still there. So using this attack methodology, I accessed eBay. This is an XSS, live XSS on eBay. So that's why I hide the URL so that you cannot see where it is. But they are using some CK editor, WYSIWYG editor is there. And I accessed this WYSIWYG editor with the help of a style methodology. Reward from eBay I got recently. So my publishing has been blocked. They don't allow me to publish. Okay, with the help of same methodology, I access TinyMC. This bug has been fixed also. Another injection point. I just quickly moved because I want to focus in the last 15 minutes, I focus on the solution. Because enough breaking. Black Hat is about breaking. Everyone is breaking everything. So I want to show you something that is unbreakable. So attacking, insert, edit, upload. WYSIWYG editor also allow you to upload file. Okay, why? So the syntax or the user interface looks like that. They will say you, okay, oh, hey guys, drop a file here, or just name a file and drop file here, or upload it. Okay, we will do that. So in that case, in this reductor WYSIWYG editor, I simply name the file as an XSS vector. Gone, they are XSS. Who is using the reductor? You can find the whole list on this URL. Yeah, they allow me to upload a file, but they forgot to check the validity of the file, which file type. Flash is always there. So I uploaded Flash file. Inside a Flash file, there is an XSS vector. So here it got executed in the site. I show you an example. A very popular editor that has 40,000 downloads, Frola. It has been XSSed with the help of Flash file. Here you see the Flash file got executed in the context of the site, editor.frola. And here you see this is .swf file. I reported the issue, and now the fix is like that. If you will upload a Flash file, browser will ask you, hey guys, you want to download this harmful file or not? So they fixed this issue basically. Until last year, there is a site by PayPal. It's called x.com. They have a WYSIWYG editor. I accessed this with the help of Flash file, and I was awarded $1,000 for this bug. But now the site is decommissioned. X.com is no more. So another feature Vysiwyg Editor provides you, insert video. Okay, why so many features? Actually, I'm worried why there are. Vysiwyg Editor means to be just give some options. I will show you later. So this is the user interface of Vysiwyg Editor. If they allow you to insert and edit video, either you can embed a video, embed video code, or either you can give a YouTube URL. This is the YouTube code. If you will go to any YouTube video and go to share, you can borrow this code YouTube provides for every video. Take that code, simply append on mouse over. Take the same code, legit code that YouTube provides, just add on mouse over in object and embed tag. With the help of this technique, I access this Raptor Vysiwyg Editor. Recently, just because I want to have a very good example for this talk. So last week I was on Microsoft. I don't know why, but I access basically their Vysiwyg Editor that they are using. This is the Vysiwyg Editor they have. They asked me to upload a file. Okay, guys, allow me to upload it. I uploaded in a Flash file. It has been accessed, and the fix is very interesting. This is the fix at the moment. The resource is not available. Right now they are working on fix, and that you cannot use Vysiwyg Editor, especially that functionality anymore. Still they are working on fix. The questions, why almost all Vysiwyg editors are vulnerable? But let's see first developers' comments. I was continuously reporting these bugs to developers on GitHub. This developer said, hey, we are supposed to do this functionality. This submission should be handled on the server side. Okay. Another dev said, when you are going to save this contents, it's not our responsibility. We are the devs, we are provide you a Vysiwyg Editor. Security is not our problem. Okay. So I got so many comments of same time. It's not our fault. Okay. Then whose fault? Reason. This is the reason so many Vysiwyg Editor are vulnerable. Transfer of responsibility plus laziness. Because developers of Vysiwyg Editor think that the developer of the server side will fix this issue. And the developers of server side are like me, they are lazy guys. They simply borrow the Vysiwyg Editor, use it. Gone. No sanitization is there. So I thought these are the two main reasons. Okay, enough breaking. So let's present unbreakable filter. What unbreakable? I hope that internet is working here. Yeah. I think last few months ago, I announced a challenge on Twitter. It's a $1,000 challenge. If someone is gonna break this filter, I will give you a 1,000 US. And the output of this filter reflects in different context. And this is interesting. These are the logs. These are the logs of filter. When people are trying to attack my filter, they don't know that I am recording everything. I am recording their IP, their time, date, everything has been recorded. So if I will ask you to give me a secret vector, you will not give me. But if I will announce a challenge, you will throw it and I will get it. So the same thing happened. So this is the biggest collection of XSS vector. Let's see how many they are right now. Let's search for catch. Just look at the counter. Yeah, it needs analysis. Yeah, still. So right now the counter is at 82,000. So on my challenge, 82,000 attack attempts had been made, and no attempt was able to bypass my filter. So this is the biggest collection. Yeah, you are absolutely right. How many are duplicates? Because I can see in the logs, people are using automated tools, scanners, blindly throwing everything. Scanners are basically scanners don't work, in my experience. So next we discuss. This is available on this URL. If you will break it, I can give you an award. Just Just try it, so that I will also get your secrets. So the solutions. Before presenting a solution, and we have some time left, the solutions all are simple after you have arrived at them. This is a very good saying, but the problem after you have arrived at them, and after you have to do a lot of work. So how to give a protection against JavaScript execution via attribute? I had shown you a chart, the first chart, where there's a 3-step process. Remember this chart, this is a 3-step process. So how the protection should look like? It should look like very simple. If I will ask you, just by looking at this graph, what you will do, how you will design a filter? Anyone would like to suggest anything? Yeah? Okay, let's see. This is the solution in PHP, but you can convert it into a JavaScript or any language. So if you will closely look at this graph, the attack vector either starts with double quotes, either it starts with single quote, or either it starts with backtick. So what I am doing here, so for me, there are only 3 bad characters. If I will control only these 3 characters, no one can break the attribute context. I experienced this in my challenge. In my challenge, I am only controlling these characters. No one was able to access it. So here I have converted these 3 characters into the encoded form, which is harmless to the browser. But you can write it here anywhere. You can write anything here. You can write removed. You can write, hey, we catch your vector. You can write anything here. But just keep in mind, just control 3 characters, but not for the whole site. Only for this particular injection point, which is called attribute injection point. What if attacker will use encoding? This is the obvious question that you guys are thinking. Okay, let's see a demo. See, this is the scenario for an attribute context. There is a div class injection point here, and here is a plain hard-coded double quotes. Here you see, it's a decimal encoded double quotes. I tried encoding to break the context. I tried hex encoding. I tried URL encoding. So different types of encodings are there. So how many of you think how many alerts we will get? So here you see, no alert. Because encoding will not help you. The only alert we will get when you will use a hard-coded double quotes. Here you see, this is the only alert we will get. Otherwise, there will be no alert, because encoding will not help attacker to break the context unless devs are doing explicit decoding on the server side. Don't do explicit decoding. Then attacker cannot access you, at least in this case. So let's move on. This is the protection against style. So remember, this is a 4-step process. So how simple the protection is. I just control 6 characters. Double quotes, single quotes, small parentheses we need in order to execute a function. Backslash in PHP is very good. We need 4 backslashes in order to control 1 backslash. So less than and. Can someone identify why I am controlling this angular bracket? Can someone identify why? Yeah, here you see, if you will look at the graph, here the example is from a style attribute, but maybe devs are using a style tag. Then attacker can break the style tag, but in order to write a style tag, he has to use this angular bracket. Simply encoding will not work unless you guys will do explicit decoding. So these are some questions that you might thinking after looking at this protection, so they are available here. So another beauty of this solution, because I am only controlling 6 characters. Now see the advantage. Access is gone, but at the same time, imagine we are sitting in a Wysiwyg editor. We want user to style something also, some harmless styles. See, in my example, these all styles are allowed, because in normal CSS styling, double quote is not there. A small parenthesis is not there. I am only controlling the harmful entities. So it means that you can use this protection if you want to develop a Wysiwyg editor, and you can also allow user to style. This is supposed to do Wysiwyg editor's basic functionality. In order to protect JavaScript execution, I had a simple regular expression that force you to enter a URL that only starts with an HTTP or HTTPS. In that way, you cannot execute JavaScript. So another demo I want to show you, this is another filter I developed 3 years ago. And that filter is part of Mod Security Firewall as their core rule set. So this filter is based on regular expressions, and it only allows you to input simple tags. For example, here I had a text file. So we see simple harmless tags, bold, ordered list, unordered list. This is supposed to be a WYSIWYG editor functionality. You can only bold italic. And if you will submit it, so they are here, they are all allowed. But as soon as you tried, for example, on mouse over, you want to be a smart guy. So you got a message. Filter has catch your vector, try hard. So it will not allow any JavaScript execution. And since last 3 years, it's part of Mod Security. And so far, we have no complaints. People are using it. And according to my information, Mod Security has more than 1 million installations. So they are using my filter. So some generic guidelines, I just conclude. If you are a developer and if you want to include a third-party WYSIWYG editor, please use HTTP-only cookies so that JavaScript cannot access the cookie in case of an XSS. Use iframe sandbox. Sandbox does not allow JavaScript, but you can have some sort of flexibility. So you can confine, you can limit the privileges of the third-party content with the help of iframe sandbox. Use it. Use content security policy, a very good solution by Mozilla. But keep in mind, always use it without unsafe inline or unsafe inline eval. Otherwise, it will not help you. I will conclude. Basically, this is the takeaway. Normal people should not need to know or care about markup. Most just want to make the words bold, italic, or add some bullets, an image. That's enough. This, if you want to make a WYSIWYG editor, just follow this tweet. Because normal people don't know the crazy stuff that you are providing when it makes the sites vulnerable. So Facebook is very smart. Their WYSIWYG editor is just bold, italic, underline, number list, block code. Perfect. This is a normal user supposed to use. And the final, Markdown is great for techies. But what if instead of an specs, those 6 devs have spent 2 years creating a WYSIWYG editor that actually works? So WYSIWYG editors are basically flawed. So many issues are there. I only focus on XSS. Still, there are some injection points that I haven't focused. For example, drag and drop, or a lot of features are there. But the basics that are common injection points, I explore here. And that's it from my side. So, any question? Yes.
Some browsers have protection against reflection across the scripting. So how was your URL you put in?
Yes. Yeah, it's a very good question. Basically, the guy is asking that what about Chrome built-in XSS protection? Chrome has an XSS auditor. IE also has an XSS filter that help you against reflected XSS. But if you will closely see where WYSIWYG editors are in use, they are used in forum posting. They are used in messaging. It means that XSS in WYSIWYG editor is more dangerous because it's stored XSS. It's implicit that it is going to be viewed by the other users. It's not in case of reflected XSS, if I am an attacker and you are a victim, I had to trick you either to visit my page or click some link. In that case, it's an stored XSS. XSS in WYSIWYG editor, 90 out of 100 times is a stored XSS, and which is very dangerous because you are supposed to see the forum. You simply look at the forum posting, but you don't know the attacker has injected a JavaScript. So he can do whatever he wants to do. In fact, last year, 2 forum has been hacked with the help of XSS. One was Apple developer and one was Ubuntu. Yeah, two forums were hacked and the same technique has been used. XSS was found by attacker in their forums. Then he steal the session cookie of the administrator, and then he logged in on behalf of administrator, changed everything. So in that WYSIWYG editor sense, in-browser filters normally don't create any hurdle. So so everything is online. Slides, yeah, Michelle.
So your unbreakable feature looks like another blacklist approach.
It's purely not blacklist, because in case of URL filter, it's a whitelist. I am forcing you to enter a URL that it starts with HTTP, HTTPS, or FTP. It's a whitelist. For the styling, yeah, it's a blacklist, but blacklist based only on 6 characters. And if it's a challenge, it's an open challenge. Challenge is there. So.
I'm saying that like you automatically was delivering the back
Yes. But backtick also think that style context attack methodology works in older browsers. Backtick does not work in older browser, which works in modern Firefox right now. So also you have to think like that. So far it's unbreakable, and with my experience of finding accesses in thousands of websites, I don't know any way. That's why I announced a challenge. Maybe someone knows a way, but so far no. And I should show you the log, yeah.
If you allow styles that you consider harmless, you cannot inject JavaScript, but you may can do UI attacks. Like use the style to redesign the UI, so you click on a button that looks different and does a different.
Yeah, but it then demands a lot of user interaction. With that, you don't need any user interaction. But yeah, users are amazing. In my other research, user do whatever you want to do. So it's a different ball game. If your user will click everything, if you will say don't click it here, he will click on it. So thank you very much. Thanks, guys.